What's up? It's your girl Denicia with Let's Talk. And today we're going to talk about the madness of my life. When I say madness, I mean madness. And it's so hard to control the chaos in the house, especially when you chaotic inside your head. And I have learned that when I have those moments of chaos in my head, I try my best to sit and count and breathe and walk away from my children so I won't become explosive. Especially dealing with this whole week I have had to deal with. This week has been one of the most stressful weeks I've dealt with in a long time. Especially when I got that phone call from the school saying that when I saw the video on Instagram where Contrell was being detained by MARTA police. And my thought was, oh my God, my child finna go to jail. He finna be on probation. It was finna be a mess because I already have one child on probation. And he's on probation for selling water without a seller's license or whatever. So they put him on probation. And I'm like, man, I do not want to go through this again. And part of me did not believe Contrell because, first of all, he's always lying. And it's hard for me to believe him. Like, I don't care. If I see him doing something, he gonna say he didn't do it. And I'm like, dude, I saw you do that. Well, mama, I did it because of... No, son, I don't care about the reasoning behind it, because if I ask you if you did something and I'm looking at you do it, just be honest and say that you did it. And that's a struggle that I struggle with Contrell on a day-to-day basis. Him just being honest. And I'm not telling him, I tell him all the time, just be honest with me. You can lie to the police all day long, but don't lie to me. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the person in your corner. I'm going to be the one that's backing you up. I'm going to be the one right there fighting with you. So just tell me the truth so I know how to fight with you. Okay, so his explanation was, we were just playing, it was a girl. And I'm like, so why did the police say that they saw you on top of somebody swinging on them? So just to be on the safe side, Friday he didn't go to school. Boom, I said, okay, cool. Said Monday, we're going to see if you can get on the bus and you can go to school. So Monday, he was able to go to school. So then we get a phone call right after I leave the twins' IEP meeting about him being late to class, being tardy. And here he go, I wasn't this, I wasn't that, but I did my work. I'm like, bro, it's not the point about you doing your work. The point is you went to sleep in class. So regardless if you did this lady work or not, the point is her expectations for you and your classmates is for you to stay woke in this classroom. So then, boom, get off the phone with the lady. She called back no more than 5 minutes later, talking about he being disrespectful, talking about why you lie on me. And at this point, I'm already irritated because I have had to be in an IEP meeting with teachers that don't do nothing but lie. And everybody looking at me like I'm crazy. My mama, they daddy, everybody was like, what reason do these people have to lie? And I'm looking at them like, are you serious right now? What reason does anybody have to lie? Anybody have to lie. People lie for reasons. Nobody lie for no reason. If you're in a school system and you have a job and your job is to transport students, and you say something out the way or you put your hand on that child, of course you're going to tell a lie to save your what? To save your job. Now we going to think. Everybody pause for a minute and think about the lies they have told and why they told those lies. Okay? Even as a child, we have all told lies. And some kids don't lie. And I respect a lot of people that don't lie. Because growing up, I was a lying child. I lied about anything. I don't care if you saw me do it. I think it was one time. That ain't funny. That is not funny. But my brothers them got in trouble. That shit is not funny, though. That shit is not funny. So it's one particular time, I think me and my homegirl, we wanted to get high. We was like, bro, we ain't got no money. And the dudes that usually give us the weed, they weren't nowhere around. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to my mama's bathroom. Because at one time, my mom was smoking weed back then. So boom, we go in her bathroom, we get the little rolled up joint, and boom, we bust a move, we outside. Smoking a joint on the back of the Danko trampoline, bro. That shit was so fun. That shit ain't funny. So my mama come home looking for her joint, not knowing that my mama didn't know I smoked weed at this time. She didn't even know I was drinking. So when she saw her blunt was missing, she automatically assumed it was one of my brothers. Now, don't get me wrong, my mama still asked me if I smoked it, but I'm like, Mom, come on, you know I don't smoke. So boom, my brothers them get an ass whooping for smoking my mama weed. And I knew I should have said so, but I'm like, well, shit, she believe I ain't smoking. So my brothers them got a lot of ass whoopings for the lies I told. Like this one time, my mama, no, they ain't get in trouble for this. My mama just assumed she just poured her watered down drink back into her alcohol bottle. And the whole time, every time she would drink alcohol before she poured her shot back in there, because I know my mama, she ain't finna waste nothing. She don't care if the ice melted in the alcohol. She gonna pour the alcohol back in her bottle. So before she got up in the morning, whatever, here I go. I fill my little Coca-Cola bottle up with the alcohol. I'm like, bro, I'm finna get drunk. Man, I got so much drunk that day, it didn't make no sense. Me and my homegirl got drunk. And my mom was like, what's wrong with you, D? I'm like, I don't feel good. I ate something. I said, I went down there, ate at them 4 house, and after I ate it, my stomach would hurt. Now, the whole time, bro, I'm drunk than a skunk. My brothers them knew I was drunk. My mama didn't know I was drunk. So my brothers them used to get so mad at me because when we got older, my lies would fly because being the only girl, I had to be sneaky because I really couldn't do nothing. I couldn't go to no parties. I couldn't go to the movies. I couldn't go on dates. I couldn't have a boyfriend. I couldn't do nothing. But my brothers them could do whatever they wanted to do. Now, I couldn't do it because everybody would snitch on me. So when Contrell tell all these lies, I'd be like, darn, my mama said it. You gonna get it 10 times fold. And he is the one that lies constantly and consistently, and he will stand on his lie. And everybody thinks that Cornelius lies all the time because he has this nonchalant attitude. But not 9 times out of 10, the boy be telling the truth. So to go back to Contrell and his Monday madness, when I say madness, we get off the phone, he kind of like, but mom, she is lying. I did my work. I'm like, son, once again, it's not about you doing your work. It's about you being tardy to this lady class all the time, interrupting her class, being loud and obnoxious, and being disrespectful to her. So regardless if you did your classwork, that's one of the many things one thing that you did out of 1,000 things that you did do right in school. For some reason, he don't understand that concept, and I'm just not finna keep fighting with him about that. So like I told him, we just gonna cut your hair off. If I cut Nilly's hair off, because he kept doing the wrong thing and kept going against the grain, what make you think I'm not gonna cut your hair off? Now, to the school system with this crazy Monday. So Friday, they bus and come pick them up, Maya and Dale, because they ride a short bus because they are on the IEP for for their learning disability. So this morning, the bus did not come pick them up. Well, Friday, the bus didn't come pick them up. So I called transportation, boom, we get that situated, and they get on the bus to come home. So the bus driver comes, she said, well, you have a meeting at the school. Boom, we go to the meeting at 12 o'clock today, on Monday, and the complaint from the bus driver is, oh, well, your daughter is walking up and down the aisle, she's not sending her seat, she just keeps getting up and moving. I'm like, no, those are not the complaints the bus driver makes to me when I'm picking them up or when she's dropping them off in the morning. So I'm like, those are not the complaints she complains to me about. Her complaints are that Kamaya is always sleeping on the bus and her head is leaning against the window when she sleeps on the bus, or she's slouched in the seat, or her foot is in the aisle, or she gets on the bus with the paper. So I'm like, so the lady keeps telling y'all that she's been a transportation problem by her standing up so she can get her off the bus or put her in restraints. And now when you go to the school, to your transportation supervisor, and you tell her one thing and you tell me another thing, then I really do have a problem. That means you're lying. And your issue is not. And your issue is really with my child because you don't like my child personality. And that's okay. You don't have to like nobody. You don't have to like nobody's personality. And you don't have to agree with me as a parent. That's cool. But what you're not finna do is sit here and spread lies on my child. And so we go to the IEP meeting, and I talked to not the IEP, but the special ed supervisor, or the person that's over special ed, and the the transportation supervisor for the region or that area. And so they're writing down and listening to all the complaints the bus driver told me and the complaints the bus driver told her. And that's not adding up. So They daddy like, okay, so these people do be really lying. I said, yes, they lie. He was like, but I didn't think the teacher or the school would have a reason to lie. I'm like, yes, these people have a reason to lie because they don't want to be fired. They don't want to get in trouble. They don't want to lose their job. So just like a child lies because they don't want to get a whipping, a teacher or somebody or a staff member is going to tell a lie to save their ass from losing their job, because if they lose this job and they going to put the reason why they were terminated from this job in their files. Nobody wants that on their record, because now you can't work for the school system anymore. Now you have to find another career field because of the decisions you made and the choices you made. And I'm like, y'all are really going to sit here and take this lady's word for an incident that occurred with a child because of her seniority and how long she's been here, when y'all know we've never had these problems out of my children. So at this point, I'm like, if y'all not gonna fix the situation, then I'm gonna fix the situation. I'm gonna just completely take my child out of the school. Now everybody want to come up, be like, oh, no, don't do that. We can figure something out. No, you cannot figure anything out if she's in a special education program and y'all are short-staffed and y'all are limited on being able to meet her accommodations. So if y'all are limited to meet her accommodations and y'all can't meet these needs of this child, then let me do what's best for my child and transfer her into another school, which will alleviate all this conflict, because we did not have these issues last year and they was in the same classroom. We did not have these issues last year and they were still riding a regular general bus. They weren't even on a special education bus. So I'm trying to really understand how at this point in time we have an issue. And I'm not understanding the issue. I'm not understanding the problem. And for me to sit in this meeting with the special ed head over special ed, and for him to tell me one thing and a principal to tell me another thing, when we all have determined that the other girl is actually an aggressor. So y'all won't do anything about it because of her mental intellect and the way her parents are. That has nothing to do with me, and I'm not finna keep allowing y'all to treat my child like this and make her feel like she's a problem or she's the villain when she's only trying to protect herself. And everybody like, why do you become so defensive when it comes to your children? Because I understand how it feels for people not to believe you. I understand how it feels for you to be suffering and nobody is helping you, and you're pleading and you asking for help. So yes, sometimes I am overprotective with my children, and I do too much as a mother bear, and I'm trying to work on that, because not in all situations somebody is trying to hurt my child. But at the same time, I don't want to get to the point where I stop advocating for my children when I know the type of world we're living in now. And everybody keep having this mindset that, oh, well, this is school. I'm like, no, this is not the same kind of school. This is not the same school system. These are not the same teachers. This is nothing that is the same, especially with the older teachers when we're trying to teach our children something different. I'm not going to tell my child that she should not speak up for herself when she knows she's right. I'm not going to tell my child to allow somebody to mistreat her in school if she's telling her teachers and the staff members in the school what's going on, and for her to continue to be victimized by somebody in the classroom and just sit there and take it and then be miserable and want to have all this self-hate and low self-esteem because nobody's believing her. Nobody's backing her up. Nobody is advocating for her. And so I do advocate for my kids a lot. And sometimes I go overboard. And I ain't gonna lie. I do go overboard with me being a mama bear and being so overprotective of my kids. And I know why I'm like that. And that stems from my trauma. So a lot of ways that I have with my children as far as being overprotective or not believing adults is because I've witnessed adults lie to save their ass from going to jail, from losing a job, from losing a significant other, from losing something that they really need in their life. So they would tell a lie and say that child is lying, when in actuality that child is telling the truth. And nobody was there to advocate for me. Nobody was there to protect me and stand up for me. So now as I've gotten older and I have children, I overdo it with me being a mother bear, being overprotective with my kids. Now, I'm not a helicopter mom like when they outside, no. But at no one point in time does anybody get to discipline my child, put their hands on my child or anything. Because just because you can be my auntie, my uncle, my cousin, or whoever, a relative to me, does not mean you're finna discipline me out of love. And some relatives don't like other relatives. Like, I would hate for my grandmama on my daddy's side to have ever whoop me because I know she don't like my mama. So you're going to not whoop me out of discipline. You're going to whoop me because you don't like my mama, and that's going to be the worst ass whooping I ever got. So when I went to Florida, I was on my best behavior because I did not want them people to put their hands on me because I know they did not like my mama. And nobody really believes a child. And to be a child in that situation when you weren't believed and nobody believed you for a long time, I advocate so hard for my kids, and I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not my child. My child does not do that. And when the truth comes to light, they would be like, Miss Beckwith, you know what? You're absolutely right. I do apologize. That's cool. Once you apologize, man, you have a clean slate because you became accountable. You were able to say, you know what? I messed up. That was my bad. And when somebody's able to do that, I appreciate that. And your slate is wiped clean with me. Because there's not too many people that will be accountable and honest and admit that they were wrong. And when I run across people like that, bro, I keep them folks in my corner because I know they gonna tell me I was wrong or I went too far. I don't want no yes man in my corner. So that's why I go so hard on protecting my children. Even when Contrail wrong, even when I know he be lying, me and them teachers go at it. I'm like, well, what you gonna do to keep him up in your classroom? Because if I make this boy go to bed at 10:30 and he come in your classroom and he falling asleep because he bored, how that's my problem? How is that my problem, ma'am? That means you need to revamp your teaching, your lesson plan, how you engage with these students, because I can't make him stay up in class. I can take everything from him, but if he's not engaged, then he's not going to pay attention. Contrail go to sleep looking at YouTube videos. Contrail go to sleep looking at TV. The only thing that keep Contrail focused is playing that video game. That boy go to sleep on the phone. So like I tell people, I don't care if my child is right or wrong. I'm going to always have their back. But I just appreciate when they're honest about their mess-ups and their mishaps. So that's why I'm overprotective of my kids. And that's why this was a Madness Monday. But the only good part about the day was I made dinner early and I ain't have to rush and be in a rush to help with homework, to make dinner, to have people on bed on time. I washed everybody's uniforms already and got everybody clothes situated. But it still somehow turned into a Monday Madness situation. And I can't wait to see how next Monday gonna be, because if I have another chaotic Monday, then I'ma just know that my Mondays are always gonna be crazy. But that's my time.